What a game and what an ending. Odegaard Masterclass. Welcome back to Arsenal post-match review. And of course, again, I have been doing this 4 games in a row. I have been feeling very good about it, to be honest. Well, first of all, Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Of course, this is such a tight game, and honestly, I was watching in my living room. I was jumping up and down pretty much in the final 30-40 minutes. Actually, the final 10 minutes I've been pretty much like screaming, shouting and stuff like that. Again, it is a very, very tight game after all. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a perfect game, but honestly, this game definitely shows that our resiliency in terms of coming back from from trailing pretty much, because again we all know that Mitrovic scoring the first one, and of course we answered two back pretty much immediately after the first goal we conceded, and of course in the last 5 minutes of the game, actually the last 10 minutes of the game, including extra time. This is honestly you know what? Before going into like the main part of the video, first of all, before going into the gameplay or the whole game, of course, we have to talk about like the build up, like the pre-match review or something like that. I want to do that as well, even though by the time I'm recording this, it's pretty much 12 and a half hour after the kickoff time. Didn't really have much time today, despite I did have the time to watch the game instead. And of course, when I see the starting lineup today, I saw, you know what, Zinchenko and also Partey, they're not in the squad. And of course, I'm a little bit concerned about that because both of them have been playing such a pivotal role for Arsenal, and they are pretty much the reasons why Arsenal have been winning 3 games in a row. And of course, especially for Zinchenko, playing on the left-hand side, inverted left back, providing more of an extra option in the middle, alongside with Partey and also Ben White in the middle. Of course, we all know that Arsenal is playing a 2-3-5-1 formation when it comes to an attack. But this time, Zinchenko's not here. We all know that Tierney is going to come on and replace him. And that is going to, I feel like that part of the rotation is going to disrupt some of the football that we've been playing, because we all know that Kieran Tierney, it's very good at crossing, defending, especially playing as a traditional wide left back. But of course, he is not part of an option in terms of the inverted left back role. And more importantly, El Neni has replaced Partey with another injury, I believe I think a tight hamstring or something like that. But hopefully both of them are able to be, I hope both of them are just a precautionary action, because we have much bigger games ahead. Aston Villa at home on Wednesday and Manchester United away from home. And of course, I think making these 2 changes, I was a little bit worried because we all know that Fulham, it's not a very easy game for sure. Not Fulham. Fulham, not a very easy game. They drew against Liverpool in the first match, and then they're actually, if I'm correct, I think they're unbeaten still. But the fact that Mitrovic is such a emerging stars in the Premier League, especially. We all know how great he did in the Championship last season, and we all know that he scored 3 goals already prior into today's game, and we know that he is going to be a big goal threat for Arsenal. But coming to this game against Fulham, I wasn't expecting like a Fulham, a Bournemouth performance or a Bournemouth quality. No disrespect to Bournemouth, they lost 9-0 to Liverpool, and I don't want to jinx it. I feel bad for saying it, but it seems like Bournemouth, it's pretty likely to get sent down at this point. I mean, they're pretty much sitting at last, but losing 9-0 to Liverpool, it's quite of a big stretch. And for more importantly, looking at the bench, again, we have great quality in terms of having quality players on the bench right there. Of course, Fabio Vieira, it's back in the bench once again. I know he's not going to start. Smith Rowe, of course, Pepe left to Nice on loan for a 1-year deal, and we all kind of have like this topic of, if Arsenal is gonna replace Pepe at this point, because as Arteta said in the press conference a few days ago or yesterday, they have been planning about this move for 2 months, but it's time for them to actually find a replacement, because there's no way you are going to put there's no way you're going to put Saka on the right hand side every game. Again, this season we have same over last season, we have a cup competition in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and also more importantly the Europa League. Sometimes you just need to rotate the best player that we have. And of course, we have Marquinhos, our future young star boy, featuring on the bench today. Again, not expecting him to be playing in today's game, but you know what? The only part that I was thinking about was if Arsenal somehow are winning by a huge margin in the middle of the game, then I thought, you know what, you can give an important opportunity to Fabio Vieira or Marquinhos, but against Fulham, as I said, it's not a very easy game. And of course, without having Pepe, Arsenal needs to find a replacement very soon. Of course, we did link with Pedro Neto from Wolves. Apparently, price tag gets beyond 50 million. I doubt Arsenal is going to pay for that price. Tielemans, apparently Leicester is viewing him as a 35 million or 30 million plus signing, which I think, as a player who is under 1 year of the contract, I think that's a little bit overpriced. 25 million is what Arsenal view him as, but really depends on how much Leicester needs some money, because apparently they are the only club that only spent one signing so far throughout the whole transfer window. So they have to do something about that. Hopefully they're gonna draw down the price for Tielemans, and Arsenal gonna sign them. Well, this part of transfer video or transfer talk, it's for another segment, but definitely not for today's game. All right, first half. First half, it's a very good game. We have been controlling throughout the whole game pretty much, and we are pretty much in possession pretty much every time. And Fulham have a few chances here or there. But more importantly for us, one criticism that I do have for the first half is pretty much there's too many touches in the box, and there's a few where I felt like Saka could have just touch and shoot, but instead he took an extra touch, and that's a little bit too late. Same as Odegaard. And of course, Odegaard has been, again, man of the match. He has to be man of the match. Like, he is my captain right there. So many balls right there. I remember the first cross that he had was a diagonal cross into the box to Jesus, set it up to Xhaka, but he had a wrong footing in the end. But pretty much that was about it. It's more, and of course, Bukayo Saka. I'm actually a little bit concerned about Bukayo Saka. For the past 4 games, we can all agree that Bukayo Saka hasn't been really having a very good game, if I have to be honest. Seems to be he is the weakest link in terms of our attacking source of play. You guys might disagree me. You guys might agree with me, but seems like we are we're pretty good down on the left hand flank. But today's game, Martinelli wasn't the best for sure. I feel like a lot of times where there's so many important decisions that he can make, but it was a little bit too late, or he looked for an alternative solution to the type of play that he was making, and his set pieces a little bit overshot a lot of times. I remember a free kick that was pretty much I overshot everybody, and also a corner kick, I believe so. And I was a little bit worried about that, because I felt like in that moment, I feel like Cedric might be a much better taker if Cedric was in the starting lineup. But yes, Cedric's on the bench today. I doubt he's going to be making an appearance so far yet in the season. And of course, the first half, that's pretty much it. Again, a lot of people talk about how great the first half is. It's just having trouble finding the final ball, finding the unfinished touch in the end. I felt like that was the main problem. I think we played very well, but again, against Fulham, you just know that it's bound to happen. It's going to happen where it is going to be a tight game, and it's not really a surprise that the fact that Arsenal was scoreless pretty much in the first half. Because second half started, I was doing my laundry. Didn't really pay much attention in the first 5 minutes, but I believe we were starting to like get a lot of momentum going. Having a lot more shots, having a little bit more spaces in their opposition half, especially in the box as well. Which we are about to break the deadlock. I can see how organized Fulham defense are, and of course we all know that Fulham defense wasn't quite perfect. They made quite a lot of mistakes at the back, especially for Tosin and also Robinson, I believe. So they make a couple of careless mistakes where they kind of like took their eyes off the ball in allowing either Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli to kind of like got the ball back, but in the end nothing happened. Didn't cost anything in the end, but it is just part of the deal. But later on, what happened was that by the time I actually fully focused on the game once again, Gabriel Magalhaes has made an error at the back, and Mitrovic has converted that one into a goal. Again, this is, I don't know what I want to say about it, because honestly, I feel like that was a very poor mistake by for Gabriel, because I sort of knew he has that type of defensive ability where he loves to just, if he can't find a pass, if he somehow can't find a forward pass or find a pass in general, he will tend to hold the whoever player that is about to tackle the ball. He was just trying to hug him or hold him, to find some help. But in that situation, when you were playing against Mitrovic, it is going to be hard. That guy's an absolute freaking unit. And just like that, Mitrovic got the ball off Gabriel. You don't say that very often in terms of a very good defender. But I believe in the Bournemouth game, last game, I believe Gabriel made the same mistake pretty much. But thank God it wasn't converted into a goal or a big mistake. But that one against Mitrovic, that one was very costly, because we know that Fulham can take all 3 points very easily based on the form they have been in, based on the results for the past few games. I feel like they could have probably take everything home. And you know what? Seeing Gabriel, put his shirt over his head in disgust. Yeah, it was a very disgusting mistake in the end. Because honestly, I think for other, like in that situation, a lot of defenders would just probably just boot the ball out. When you look at the replay, he doesn't really have a lot of people to play to play the ball. Like Zinchenko's certainly not there, but I believe Xhaka was trying to make a move to the left-hand side, but it was a little bit too late. Tierney and also Martinelli was pretty much completely marked, so they weren't a very nice option. But I felt like in this situation, he would have just probably booted the ball out. But maybe in that situation, he couldn't really realize what happened, or couldn't assess what happened in that situation. Instead, he made that terrible mistake. And then, 1-0 to Fulham, and I thought, oh God, it is going to be a long day, isn't it? We're not very good at making a comeback, especially we were one goal down and we have pretty much 30 minutes to play. And we thought, okay, this is another test. This is the test where how Arsenal can be to make a comeback, to be strong, to be brave, to have resiliency at the back. And then the team pretty much answered it, and you got to give a lot of credit to Martin Odegaard today, because he pretty much a very flawless performance by him. He made a few dribbling mistakes here and there, lost possession with his control and stuff like that. But in general, I think he has a very, very nice game. And that goal he shot, in other situation where for last season, I doubt he's going to take any of those shots for sure. But the fact that the ball just kind of rose into him, he faked it with his right foot. I think he faked Tim Ream, the Fulham defender. And then it's because of that, tiny little skill move that throws Ream out of the shooting site. Instead, Odegaard took a shot, hits Tosin, And Bernd Leno, of course, welcome back to the Emirates, Bernd Leno, but we can't show mercy to him in that game. But Bernd Leno conceded that one. It was I would say it's a very lucky goal, but at the same time, Odegaard should have done this more often in the last season, of course, in the early 2 games, I think. But right there, this is why you need the captain to stand to stand up or to show up in this big important moment. He was having a very nice game throughout the whole game, but it's not because of conceding the first goal. Everybody's head would just went down. Nobody did that, thankfully. Instead, he scored that one. Not absolute beauty, but we need that much luck to go past Bernd Leno. We all know that he is a very good shot stopper. So thank God, just one deflection makes a whole difference. 1-1, we're back in the game, but you gotta love that celebration from Odegaard. He went to he didn't really quite celebrate a lot and said, just pick the ball back, boys. Let's start over again. We have 20 minutes to play. And I remember he went to Gabriel and make sure that he is ready and stuff like that, or to get his head back into the game. So what happened was that after that, Eddie and Nketiah came on and we played 3 at the back, and it changes the whole complexion of the game, because I feel like Eddie and Nketiah can give you a different dimension of how football can be played within Arsenal. Last season it's so tunnel vision a lot of times where Arsenal's losing by 1, losing by a goal or something like that. We need like a goal to tie or to win. You throw in Nketiah, didn't quite work out. Usually it's the same old story, but this time it's completely different. Eddie has completely transformed himself into a different player. He has been making a lot of runs in the middle, and of course, Jesus kind of dragged himself to the wide side and allowing Nketiah to make a lot of runs in the middle. He made a few runs, unfortunately, didn't really result in the goal. I feel like he deserved to score a goal in that game. And of course, and then we start to trying to play as a team. And then there are a few chances. Remember, there's one corner kick from Fulham to Mitrovic, and you can see Gabriel Jesus was trying his best to stop Mitrovic by just putting his body forward, trying to block him in the slightest way as possible. And Mitrovic, literally a bullet header. He reminds me, somehow he reminds me of Olivier Giroud, his heading skills and stuff like that, because he's just very good in the air, very physical in the air as well. He definitely will win a lot of duel in the air. But more importantly, Ramsdale makes a save again. Ramsdale, fantastic performance. I know I have been criticizing him a lot for the past few games with his distribution, but this game he doesn't really have a lot of distribution going on. But his saves right there today, his reflexes and his goalkeeping ability shows how, proves me wrong in today's game. And I'm proud of him. And I'm wrong to ever doubt him. But of course, he still needs a few more games, or this season, next season, to prove himself that he is a very, very good goalkeeper. And we also gotta give a shout out to Ben White today. I know he doesn't get a lot of credits this game, but he seems very quiet. But if you guys analyze the game more in depth, he is certainly a very, very good player, especially in today's game. Literally marking Mitrovic on the far post, because we all know that for the past 2 games where Fulham play, Mitrovic score a header or scores every time from the right back area. And this time, Ben White didn't concede a goal from Mitrovic today, because he has been very physical, very smart, very agile, just putting his body forward, blocking Mitrovic in every way possible. And more importantly, that 66-minute save from Ramsdale. And of course, Ben White went full on. He went for the slide, blocked the shot with his back, That one was such a block. You guys have no idea how important that block was, because when you look at the replay once again, it would have probably gone into the back of the net. And with such power and such great distance from Bobby Reed, I doubt Ramsdale's gonna have a hand to it. And then of course in the end, 85th minute, Gabriel has redeemed himself by scoring that goal. I can't at this point I just can't celebrate every goal, to be honest, guys, because every time you score, you just have to wait. I was like, oh god, is it going to be an offside? Do they need to check the VAR for that? But when that goal scored, there's like a possible handball, possible foul on Bernd Leno. And of course, turns out it came off the side of the head of Saliba, and of course it bounces right in front of Gabriel and puts this one away, and everybody was just like went wild. I remember Saliba was so happy. He was pretty much doing his own celebration in the end. But Bernd Leno, that one was kind of a gift, to be honest, because he didn't handle that one well. Because I feel like if during his prime or other world-class goalkeeper, I felt like he would have probably punched the ball away or somehow made contact with the ball. He didn't. Instead, he just kind of left it to Saliba, and of course very lucky bounce in the middle back to Gabriel, and scores that winner. In the last 5 minutes, I was like, oh my god, Ramsdale with another great save. Remember, Chalobah was the one who made an attempt, and Gabriel again another mistake at the back, because I felt like he should have dealt with that ball very easily. And later on, it's just Rob Holding comes on, Tomiyasu come on to strengthen the back, and we won this game. I'm very happy about this game, guys. It was such a relief that I heard the final whistle being blown. There's so much pressure into today's game, guys. It's that we haven't really had such a good start of the season for so long. And I remember the last time Arsenal won 4 out of 4. It was the year before I became an Arsenal fan, so it was my first time witnessing that. I'm very proud of the team for sure. And we all know there's pundits going on saying Arsenal is like over celebrating, celebrations over the top. I mean, come on, man, just get the fuck out. I don't want to be, I'm trying to be a little bit. I don't want to put any filter on in this segment of the video. I'm just trying to be truthful as possible, as emotional as possible. But I forgot who said that Arsenal celebrating is just a win and stuff like that. I was like, come on, man, just shut the fuck up, because it's a win, right? Arsenal hasn't had this kind of a win for so long. Not this kind of a win, but this kind of a season, this kind of a run for so long. And it's a win. What am I supposed to, what are you expecting Arsenal to do, huh? Every time we win a game, stay humble, not say anything, not even clapping to the fans, and not being able to be happy. It's a win, because in the long-term run, of course, somehow if Arsenal make it up top 4, top 2, they will look back into today's game. Wow. It's because of this game that we won against Fulham that makes us the top 4 or even top 2. Anything like that. But those celebration police is just, I don't know, just get them out of the punditry for sure. And that's pretty much what I really have to say. I literally have my notes on my phone. I don't do a lot of notes, to be honest, because I feel like first of all, I'm recording this 10:30 at night right now, which is 13 hours after the game happened. But you know what? Just need to put notes down, because there are a lot of stuff I need to talk about, and I just put it all out there. I'm not even gonna comment on individual player. Pretty much, we all win as a team. There's no individual outstanding performance, but of course, Odegaard was certainly my man of the match for sure. I really hope that he continues his form. At the same time, I really do hope that Bukayo Saka, he's my favorite player for sure. I really hope that his form will come back very soon, because we really do need him on the right-hand side, especially the number of chances that we created on the right flank. I think last season with that version of Bukayo Saka, we might have probably 1 goal or 2 goal up. But yeah, we are on to the next game against Aston Villa. Again, I'm very happy because we don't have to wait for a week to to watch another Premier League game. I know the Premier League game, the fixture is going to be a little bit more congested very soon, with the World Cup happening in November to December. But more importantly, we really do need a full squad on that day. Hopefully, Zinchenko and Partey are going to be fit for that game to be played. More importantly, the transfer market has to be sorted out very soon, because we still need more depth in the winger position and also the left 8 position. We'll wait and see, because I think by the time I will record that podcast, that segment of the video, it would be before the transfer deadline. So I hope Arsenal really gonna surprise us with one more signing. I know it's a little bit of a stretch to sign 2 players at this point, but signing 1 player, to finish it off the transfer window would be very, very strong, and definitely gives us a much bigger chance of getting top 3. I'm not even trying to say we're going to win the league, because I'm not that delusional. Arsenal is still far away from being a title contender. I know a lot of media fans are saying that, but there is still some weaknesses within the team. The team is still very young, so I'm not expecting them to be performing every game, but hopefully they prove me wrong and show who they truly are, like show what their potential can be. So thank you guys for listening, watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this segment. I'll see you guys right after Aston Villa's game at home at the Emirates Stadium.